I didn't my depth perception there.
I didn't give it much of a chance.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And I couldn't see his picture on my
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for being here and those watching on TV. Mayor's report, I really don't have anything. I just want to vent a little. Yesterday was Memorial Day. It should be a very important day to everyone. I attended the memorial service that's put on at the cemetery, city cemetery every year. I try and go every year if I can. And I notice every year the crowd gets a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And I think it's just an important event that people need to attend and to realize what Memorial Day is all about. You know, it's not about the picnics and so forth. The VFW does a wonderful job presenting the program. And I tried to count people, and I think there was only 75 people there besides the VFW staff and so forth. And to me, it just, I don't know. I'm ex-military also, and I just, that day is meant to recognize the people that have given us our freedoms. And I think that hopefully next year, I'm gonna try and talk about it before it happens to try and remind people to be there. I just feel it's an important thing, and I'll get off my box. Thank you.
I agree with you, 100%.
So, thank you. So anyway, we'll move on. City Administrator.
All right. As you know, we are looking to hire a park foreman, and we have had 4 applicants for the position thus far. We've interviewed 2, and we'll interview the remaining 2 tomorrow, and hopefully have a decision fairly quickly. So we might be asking you for an email vote into this week or early next week. Wanted to mention that MIRMA, we approved it again for this year, a couple of meetings back, and just want to let you know that it is a great organization, and that we just got our invoice, and it's on your invoice list in your packet tonight, and the amount was $37,000 less than what was estimated, which is great. But then in addition to that, because I always tell you about how important our audit score is, we've gotten 100% for like 12 years, they will give you credits when they're available if your score is over 90%. So that's why I always encourage our people that these are important, because we did get a total in credits back of $41,864. So anyway, we have that bill came in less and gives us a little more cushion in our budget and the carryover balance. So I was happy about that. I also wanted to say that in their newsletter, they were just talking about how that in 26 years, only 2 have left, and 1 of them came back, and they gained 26 new members. And there were like 3 members who went out for RFPs last year, like their board wanted them to, and 2 of them, they were the only bidder, because the other companies told people that they couldn't even be competitive with MIRMA. So just wanted to let you know that they're doing right by us. Just as we discussed, and for the public's sake, the budget is on schedule. The 26-27 budget is on schedule to have the first reading at the June 13th meeting. We just had our second workshop previous to this meeting. And maybe you noticed, I don't know if you got to look on Facebook this afternoon, posted a flyer / agenda for we're having as you know, our building inspector works for New Haven as well. And we are having a combined building code update workshop in New Haven this Thursday at 3 p.m. We're currently using the 2015 building codes and would like to update to the 2021. We need to be within 5 years of the present year. So we want to update to 2021 first. And that's what Franklin County is on right now as well. Most people, and they update these codes, the government does every 3 years. So the newest year is 2024, okay? So we want to update to the 2021, same as New Haven, which would then become the same as Franklin County is what they're doing. And so the workshop is to talk with some of the contractors, go over some of the changes with them, and give them input, let them have input into that. And there's always amendments, things like even in the 2015 version that we have, when we adopted that, there were amendments. Most of them were exclusions for things that we didn't want to be that forceful about something, or that less stringent on certain things. So Nick has gotten a copy of Franklin County's amendments, and he's reviewing those to see if we want to make those same amendments. And anyway, so that is happening on Thursday, and then I'm sure there'll be another one, and then ultimately Nick and would come and present that to you all for adoption by this board. And we just want to get it done in the calendar year of 26. So that's what we're shooting for. Let's see. Legislative updates. As you know, the session is over, and we've talked kind of ad nauseum about the relocation of the broadband and telecommunications, which thankfully for municipalities, we are not going to be responsible for the relocation costs. So that was great. And then, always keeping an eye on those tax and revenue proposals that are going on up there. They had a couple bills about exempting different sales taxes. And the sales tax on food is always a big one. And that failed again this year, to remove sales tax from food. That was going to be a big impact on all the cities. So, but they do anticipate that to be a reoccurring theme. So, but this year it did not pass, and the elimination of personal property tax also did not pass. So, no big dings to our revenue this year. I did want to say thank you to the students who came out and helped us on our ball field lighting project for Volunteer Day last week. For our grant, we have to have some in-kind volunteer work as a part of that. And so even though the installation of the poles is on hold because of that groundwater issue, the Volunteer Day still did happen. That happened before the kids got out of school. So big thank you to them. And yes, Ash, as you were just talking about before the meeting, I want to thank the people who did step up to serve on planning and zoning and the park board. Those commissions are now made whole, but we do need 2 for landmarks. And actually very important because nobody can miss. There's only a 5-member board, and so 3 of them have to be there to get any business done. So very, very important. If anybody out there would like to serve on landmarks, please fill out an application. So if we get that one filled, then we'll be doing.
And I believe we have members that are currently, everyone lives in the city limits, so we can have someone in the hospital district.
Yes, I think, yes, is it the hospital district or a 5-mile radius, something like that? But yeah, you don't have to live in the city limit if there's a percentage of those living in city limits, so yeah. I guess we are happy to announce, Jesse, right, that Schiller Street water is finally complete, that project. Everybody is happy about that. So as you know, when the project is underway. That's gonna get paved. It's gonna be a beautiful new street.
It is gonna happen.
It is gonna happen. The only other thing I want to mention is that I'm sure the public is aware, our citizens are aware that we didn't have a Maya Fest parade this year because there just wasn't anybody to organize it. And in the recent years, participation from the community has just gone down significantly. And I can't help but wonder if that's because it's pretty close to the Independence Day parade, the Freedom Fest parade. So anyway, encouraging everyone to, I represent the city on the chamber board, and the chamber is the sponsor of the Freedom Fest. And so just want to encourage everybody to please participate in the parade. We want to have a fantastic parade and celebration. The parade is at 6 p.m. on July 3rd, which is Friday night, before the fireworks. And then and there's a concert that night in between those two things. And then July 4th are the kids' activities down at the amphitheater. So we want to make it a good celebration this year. That's all I have.
Very good. Thank you so much. We have no public comments. We will move to old business. And under old business, we have the Utility Advisory Board electrical rate recommendation, and basically it just coincides with what we
Did you want to read it into the record? I can,
You want me to read it?
or I can read it, either way.
Well, I can read it.
Okay.
I got my glasses on. Okay, this is from Brian Chorley, who is the board. It's to the Board of Aldermen and the mayor. As the current chairman and founding member of the Utility Advisory Board, I wholeheartedly support the proposed increase in electrical rates. This will provide the minimum funding needed to maintain the excellent standard of service our electric department has become accustomed to providing. Despite this increase, our average residential customer's annual bill will be on par with the area average. The average Hermann residents will pay slightly less than the average Ameren and Three River customers, and several $100s less than the average Callaway electric customers, all while receiving top-notch, dependable service from our electric department. I also want to remind you that this proposal is just one step towards getting us back to a responsible annual budget. A budget where we can perform routine system improvements, replace aging equipment, and fully fund our reserve accounts. I urge all of you to pass this rate proposal to keep us moving in the right direction. Thank you for considering this proposal. Sincerely, Brian Chorley. Okay. We will move on to new business. People's Bank presentation on the CDARS/ICS program.
Good evening, folks. My name's, for those who don't know, my name's Jordan Lampkin, Chief Investment Officer at People's Savings Bank. Periodically, some of the branch employees go out into the community and talk to the municipalities and talk about accounts and products related to public funds. So that's Kim and Kelsey. They talked to Patricia briefly about our IntraFi ICS, and Patricia asked us to come and speak to you all tonight about what that offer is. So as you know, public funds by Missouri statute are required to be insured or be collateralized by investments or other forms, including letters of credit. Your relationship currently with People's Savings Bank, which we appreciate, with FDIC insurance limited to $250,000, a large exposure is collateralized via investments or letters of credit. So to reduce that, there's a product out there called ICS, which is the Insured Cash Sweep account, which you kind of have a little bit of a presentation there on. And the way that operates is it takes those deposits in excess of $250,000, and we participate with other qualified, highly rated institutions and sweep those overnight into those institutions so that you have 100% of FDIC insurance. So the benefit of that versus pledging or purchasing letters of credit, the complexities with pledging investments, there's a couple pieces. That's dependent on market values of those bonds or those investments, so they can move. So if your deposits go up and those investment values go down, there can be unpledged deposits. That doesn't happen because we monitor that daily, on a daily basis, And the city also has controls in place to monitor those. And requirement with your auditors, they're testing that, I'm sure. Same complexities with the letters of credit. Those are fixed amounts, those letters of credits that go to pledge against those deposits. They have stated maturity days, and your deposits can fluctuate, and those letters of credit may not be sufficient at any one point in time. So to eliminate some of those complexities of valuations changing in the bond portfolio or maturities, which you probably have seen releases requested. If those bonds mature, we have to release those and you have to sign those, and then we have to go pledge new investments. So in an attempt to reduce some of that complexities of pledging, a lot of public fund accounts utilize this IntraFi ICS insured cash account. There's no cost to it. It's totally voluntary for you guys to participate in. We're not necessarily advocating one way or the other. We do think it's administratively a little bit easier to manage, and that your account is just one account. There's no cost to do it, and we don't have to move forward with that pledging component or purchasing letters of credit. Happy to try to answer any questions for you guys. I got an open door policy. You can stop by any time. We can talk about it further, but it's pretty much that simple for the most part. And again, no decisions needed tonight, just to try to provide a little bit of education. You guys can discuss it. Happy to answer any questions.
So, the county's general fund is doing this right now, and was there another local fund?
Yes, we do have other municipalities that are doing it.
We have a significant amount of public funds held at the bank, and I would say probably close to 70% are using this ICS product. Just from an administrative standpoint, they're not having to manage those bond values, keep an eye on maturity dates of letters of credit or bond maturities to make sure. Again, we're doing it on a daily basis, and I'm assuming the city is as well, kind of monitoring those bonds, but it just eliminates that component of it.
Finance clerk Tammy Ellis and I visited with the county treasurer just to see how it affected his accounting and balancing of his books. And yeah, he said once he got used to it and how the different cutoff dates were, that it's no problem from that standpoint. So it gives you that little bit extra assurance that there's no gaps in our insurance coverage, which is reassuring. Do I recall you wanting a decision in June? Was there any kind of deadline?
There's no requirement. I think we have, I don't have your relationship memorized by any means, but there were a large number of municipal deposits, public funds that had letters of credit pledges, collateral that were expiring in June. So we're looking at some of those relationships, but you can make this decision at any point in time.
If you have any questions, now would probably be the time to ask.
So the money will not be local.
We participate with qualified institutions, so.
It could go anywhere.
And we
As
can
long as
provide
it-
you a list of those qualified institutions. The deposits are reciprocated. So while we place deposits with qualifying institutions, they return that same dollar amount. So our cash position won't actually change. Those qualifying institutions reciprocate those deposits. So our deposit base does not change. But we do overnight sweep those into qualifying institutions to ensure that $250,000 FDIC insurance is.
Okay, but the city tells you how much from that account that you can maneuver or put in other banks, correct?
So it's a $0 sweep account. So it'll not exceed $250,000 when it's in that.
No,
ICS.
that's not what I meant. I
Okay.
meant if we have in our general fund $1 million, $2 million,
Mhm.
probably more than that. But if we have $2 million in that general fund account, will Tammy have to tell you how much of that $2 million you can place in these other 5 or 6 or whatever accounts?
I'm not sure I follow the question
Or
completely.
do you just take whatever we have in that fund and
Your
sweep?
cash balance, and you can have multiple accounts. You can have the general fund, you can have restricted funds, those all accounts can be set up on ICS, so they can each have their individual accounts.
But you use that entire amount that's in there?
You have $250,000 of FDIC insurance. That's your coverage. So anything above that is what we sweep out. So If it's above that, regardless of how many accounts, yeah, it's gonna get swept out overnight to ensure that your FDIC insurance is covered. And that's just the alternative to pledging investments as collateral. I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Well, maybe my question
Yeah.
wasn't too clear. I know you have 250,000 you'll leave in that account because that's DIC.
Yes.
But if you have $1 million, say you have an extra $1 million besides the 250,
Mhm.
and that you take that every night and
Yes, that balance sweeps out. That 750,000 is part of this ICS. It sweeps out overnight, so that 200 excess over 250 in your tax ID number is not with People's Savings Bank to ensure the FDIC insurance, and then the ICS program reciprocates that excess over 250, so our cash position as a bank doesn't change.
so if we have a check that comes in for $500,000
Mhm.
the next day or the next morning, it's covered.
You have 100% liquidity. It sweeps both ways every night. No overdrafts, nothing like that, yes.
Does this take place of what the banks normally do when they sweep accounts at night? Because years ago, they always swept everything that was in.
I don't know if I can answer that question clearly, but yeah, we're gonna sweep it every day, every night, based off what the exposure is.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Basically, you're keeping our money insured.
Rather than pledging and
Yeah.
managing that
I mean, that's what it
collateral
sounds like.
complexity, we're insuring FDIC insurance. And it just takes, again, some of the complexity of market values, maturity dates, releasing, repledging, takes that administrative responsibility off both parties.
Anybody else have any questions? Nope. Well, thank you for coming and presenting that to us. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to motions. Do I have a motion to approve our minutes from the last meeting?
Can I have a correction? I think under the budget workshop on the second page, where Trish was talking about the wastewater, wasn't the 50 cents and the kilowatts, the gallons increase? We have R in here. It's the gallon, the second paragraph, second sentence from the bottom
Two
to
options were presented.
$31 R.
Including increasing the monthly service availability fee by 50 cents to a total of 31.
That should be and,
increasing
shouldn't
the
it?
per gallon rate from,
Because it was both. It wasn't one or the other.
I just think that first part's not complete. It was the availability fee by 50 cents to a total of 31, and then we don't have the per gallon rate for that one. Let's see, this.
It goes on to say increase per gallon rate.
The per gallon rate from 50 to 60. Okay, no, I think you're right. Now that I reread it, I think you're right. Word and.
I think it should be
Yeah,
and, right?
I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Invoices for payment, do I have a motion to pay our bills?
I move we pay those bills.
Motion has been made, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Ratify approval of a quick claim deed for Thomas A. Jackman. This was, I think everybody did that, approved it, we just didn't ratify it.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Appoint Michael Morgan to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Caterers permit for Adam Pupta Winery, Show Me Jazz Festival Amphitheater, June 13th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Motion's made.
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Special event application for the Hermann Area Chamber of Commerce Freedom Fest Riverfront Park and Pavilion. Requested closure to vehicle traffic between 12 p.m. July 3rd, 26, and amphitheater for the city band concert, food trucks, and kids activity on July 3rd and 4th, 2026. Motion to approve?
On the closure, that is, they're wanting to close the riverfront park?
Yes.
We do that, every year, Chief, right?
We just block off right there at the bathrooms down, they keep the bathrooms available, handicap parking, but not the whole riverfront.
Yeah.
So it's not closed then?
Just a vehicle traffic, correct?
Only thing that's blocked at the riverfront is like what we do for July 4th, right there, where the bathrooms are, we shut that down, anything going east, but as far as the handicap parking and pavilion and riverfront will still be accessible.
Understand?
But vehicles will be able to drive past the bathroom or anything, they can still park in handicap parking and get access to the pavilion or riverfront. But we don't shut the whole riverfront down where nobody can get down there.
Right.
Right, but that, they're asking for it to be shut down, so, correct?
You coordinated with the chamber on this, so,
Yeah, I mean, we would block what we normally do, but not the
Okay.
riverfront.
That's just what I'm asking, because that's what they requested.
And you're aware of the fireworks where it's going to be on the east?
I met with him that day down there, and he saw us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was at the meeting.
Are they gonna need any street closure or parking down at the amphitheater on the 4th,
No, everything will be inside the amphitheater.
inside the gates, or if it says food trucks or whatnot?
did they
I
discuss
reached
you
out to them asking if they were gonna need like a partial street closure or anything. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never heard back from them, so
Yeah.
I'll follow up.
I don't think they do because it's all within the,
But if they
But
had
the
trucks,
food trucks.
I think the food trucks had been parking previously anyway along Gutenberg on the east side of the amphitheater in the parking spaces.
yeah, they just,
Yeah.
I think they.
they're in a line, they're in a line
Yeah.
usually. So they're not really impeding traffic.
Right. And then we
So-
kind of blocked off that parking
Yeah.
for,
Can
if I remember right.
Can we tentatively approve closing those parking places, on the, is it the west side of Gutenberg?
It'd be the east, or yeah, the west.
West side.
Side of
Gutenberg,
correct. East
Like,
side.
like a lot of the people do who rent that for food trucks.
Right.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and amend that.
Everybody okay with that? All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, added to the agenda is item G. We want to hire Kobush, Eli Kobush for seasonal help at Public Works and Park Department.
So moved.
I
Did
have
we
a
get a
mo-
couple more of him?
If you can find them, please let me know.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Item H, sidewalk change order on 4th Street there. You've all got this in front of you. Any questions on that? If not, need a motion to approve.
I move to approve.
Motion's made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. I have no reports. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion's made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Sometimes down there on East 5th Street, that's where they put up
Yeah.
jump houses.
Bouncy houses.